far more dangerous. Why haven't those experienced older players been on the pitch? Do we know why?
Well, older is the key word in that question, maybe. Gareth Bale and Aaron Ramsey really shone in 2016, guiding lights for that campaign that took Wales all the way to the semi-finals. By the last set of Euros, well, maybe they had moments of magic in them, if not a full 90 minutes. And given that both have struggled for time on the pitch over the last few months, maybe playing 2 games within 4 days at this World Cup, particularly under the desert heat against Iran, maybe that was a step too far. But of course, when you ask them individually, yes, they say they're fit, yes, they're raring to go. But I think maybe it's those other younger players who might be the game changers for Wales, if not tonight, then certainly over the next few years.
And Hal, before we go, in terms of, you know, the heat and the practicing and the fitness, do you think that's actually had some sort of impact on the team? Or, I mean, what have you heard? What have you seen?
Sure, well, we ask them these questions very often. I mean, Wales had 3 games, the first a late kick-off, similar to this evening, so the afternoon heat has gone. But for that game against Iran, although they tried to train for the conditions, trained around lunchtime, Doha time, I think it was telling how, again, those senior players weren't quite on the pace. And, you know, against Iran, a team who will be more familiar with those conditions, maybe there was a disadvantage. But we've not heard that used as an excuse. I should stress, Wales were disappointed in themselves. They feel they came to this World Cup capable of giving a lot more. So maybe this is last chance saloon, a final opportunity to show what they're made of.
How have the fans found the experience there in Doha? I mean, we've heard a lot about the controversy and the build-up to this, but, you know, are they happy? Has it been a positive experience? Will they hang around to see how England does if Wales do lose?
Well, obviously anyone who's made this journey to Qatar has made, I suppose, a decision over the ethics and expense of coming to Doha. So it is obviously only those who are here and made that decision we speak to, but I have to say they're largely loving it. Bit of winter sun, yes, a different culture. I wouldn't say the alcohol ban has made a huge amount of difference. In the stadium, well, I don't think it's dipped the atmosphere. When you hear that anthem, you know they're full of pride and passion. Away from the stadiums, well, people find ways and means in hotels. I've spoken to some who say they would maybe even consider coming back here for holiday. However, most will be looking at their flight timetable for this week. Very few had arranged to stay beyond this first 3 group games. They would maybe change their flights if Wales make it through. But I think if Wales are going home at the end of this week, most of the red wall will follow them.
Okay. Hal Griffith, thank you very much indeed. Live there from Doha in Qatar. You're watching BBC News, and it's coming up to 4:15. Time for the headlines, and it is crunch time at the World Cup for England and Wales as they go head-to-head in Qatar. The First Lady of Ukraine, Olena Zelenska, has been telling MPs in Parliament that her people are seeking justice for Russia's invasion, accusing Moscow of committing thousands of crimes. Staff mistakes in a private laboratory where more than 39,000 COVID tests were wrongly reported as negative could have led to 23 deaths.